I will be actually discussing something that I've observed, and I've always observed it, but the thing is, I have always had a problem crying. And in the last 4 or 5 years, and maybe it started 15 years ago, at the first time I ever experienced narcissistic abuse, where I actually shed tears shamelessly. And then I would hold them back. And then I had 15 years ago started to experience tears, but it was due to incredible amount of trauma. And so I gave myself permission to feel my feelings. Years later, went back to who I was, which is, hey, I'm always a happy person. Anyway, today the main discussion is what is wrong with tears? What is wrong with crying? It seems to be something that a lot of people have a hard time doing, and when people do cry, they apologize. Now, isn't it interesting how when people cry, once they're done, they're like, I'm so sorry, so sorry. They apologize for an expression of an emotion, for these beautiful liquids that is released out of their body, out of their system. But when people laugh, no one says sorry, right? You don't laugh and say, oh my God, I'm so sorry I laughed. Or, oh my God, I'm so sorry I'm happy, right? You don't apologize for any other expression that the body does other than when it comes to tears, to crying, to showing your true pain, the pain that lives inside of you, right? Isn't this true? Like, let's just observe that phenomena. How some emotions need no apology and some emotions need somebody to really apologize. So if you're sitting with a friend or a family member or a colleague and they just cry and they're feeling what they're feeling because today was just not the day or someone triggered them or something happened, then they will constantly try to change the topic, stop the tears, get over it quickly, apologize, like so much shame in showing emotions. I've also noticed in workshops, group workshops and stuff like that, in the presence of many people, that if some people show their emotions and cry, for some reason, it's considered something bad. Like it's like a taboo in a way. It's like, oh my God, the workshop is supposed to make people happy, not sad, right? But whatever situation people are in, I mean, not everybody cries, but some people, right? And if they want to, they can. And God, if everybody feels like crying, they can. Now, it took me years to perfect the ability to allow myself to cry. And until today, it's not at the whim. I admire the people that their tears just come so easily. I admire them when they just speak authentically and the tears come and it's just so beautiful and unapologetic. So in talking about tears and crying and feeling what you feel, now for some odd reason, it's been years of my life that I've been so dedicated to freeing myself to feel what I need to feel at all cost, to be as authentic and as genuine as I could ever be, because I was never allowed to really express myself and my truth and how I personally feel. So to me, it was something wrong, right? People don't do that. You don't share yourself like that. And even if you do, we're not interested. That was what I perceived to be the truth for me in my head. Now, as I understood that that was just a younger version of me that didn't understand that tears are a blessing. They are how our system detoxes. It gives us permission to feel what we feel. Tears come out to give us permission to feel what we feel, people, to feel what we feel. There's no need to apologize. You can thank the person for witnessing you and holding space for you and making sure to just be available as you share yourself, your truth, your authenticity, your vulnerability. You don't have to feel bad for that person. You don't have to uplift their mood. You don't have to change the state of being that they're in because there's something wrong with them sharing their tears. Never. Or solve their problem. When a happy person comes, like all happy, woo, right? Are you like, oh my God, we got to tone you down, right? Let's talk about something really negative because you need to just be more depressed, right? We don't change people's moods. We allow them to feel what they feel, unless they're victimized and this is just the way that they are. You know who these people are. In general, we allow people to feel what they feel and express it without needing to help them feel better at this moment in time, because if they wanted to, they would. So treat tears and sadness and crying and emotions and truth with value. Value what you are witnessing. Value what you are observing in somebody else as they open up their truth to you or to whoever is there. That in itself is worthy of 1,000 words. It's worthy of everything on the planet, because this gives permission. We are here to allow ourselves to give permission to feel what we feel, to express what we need to express without anyone telling us, you shouldn't be feeling that way. Get over it. Oh, you left that guy? Why are you still thinking of him? Nothing. No one has the right to tell you that what you're feeling now, whether it lasts 2 minutes or 3 years, that you're not allowed to feel it. And the only reason it lasts 3 years is because you're not allowed to feel it. You're not allowed to feel the loss, the sadness, the depression, the hurt, the pain. Because in public, we all pretend to be fine. We're all good. I'm strong. I'm powerful. And we all want to put this show. But what's the point of the show? Who's applauding? Who's this show for? Absolutely no one. So if you are not the one crying and somebody is crying around you or expressing their pain, do not look for a solution to make them feel better. You being there, listening, seeing, being there, just holding them and loving them is enough. Is enough, because that's all we all want. If they ask, I don't know what to do, then you've been given the green light to give an opinion, an offering of a service. Whether they take it or not, it doesn't matter. If you are the one crying and you're finding that the people you're around don't have this knowledge and they want to give you advice and they want to make you feel better and look at the positive side of life, at least you have a home. All the stuff that we've learned since we are young that we can't feel, our parents want to make us feel better, so they tell us all these things like, you're not supposed to cry, you're a big girl, you're a big boy, you shouldn't feel this way. Look, aren't you lucky you've got food on the table? There are poor people in the world. Like all this gunk to like dim the emotion right now and shame everyone out of it. We have this tendency to shame people out of how they feel. We shame people. But it's not because we mean to. It's because we want to help. But this kind of help is destructive in every way because it just shuts the person back. So if you're the one crying, then just say, please give me this chance to really feel what I feel. Let me cry. Don't solve it for me. Just let me feel. I just want to speak. Like, you got to sometimes tell the people, because you're teaching. We're all teachers of each other. Tell them, please don't interfere right now. I just need you here to hear me. All I need is for you to hear me. That's it. I don't need what you have to tell me. I want to hear. I want to be heard. I want to be seen. I want to be felt. Right? So it's two ways. If you are the observer, right? Give that space to the person. Let them do their thing. If you are the person in agony and just found this gush of tears, express and just say, I need this moment. All I need is someone to hear me. Because that is the truth. An authentic truth. This is what we're all trying to dig deep in, to be as truthful and authentic with ourselves and with those around us. But the most important person to be so honest with and so clear with is yourself. To speak honestly with you. Because once you can do that, see, people stop mattering. People, their opinions stop mattering. Because now you have a solid identity inside saying, this doesn't mean that I can't do, like, for example, if I sit and cry in front of a friend, or I'm feeling my emotions and I'm going somewhere, I'm definitely not waiting for their advice. I mean, I have advice coming out of my ears, right? I know, like, I've been doing this for years, like, I think since I was 18. So I know all the typical advice, everything that needs to be said, need to be done. And I keep learning more and more. So all the advice is there. It's available, right? But when we're in that vulnerable place, that's not the time to say, these are the tools, this is what you need to do to fix this. It's the time to allow that emotion, that feeling, that vulnerability to come out, right? So if I'm crying and someone's just hovering and trying, I don't want their advice. I don't need their opinion. When I'm not feeling the emotion, I'm fully clear. I know what to do. I know what to say. I know all the insights. I get intuition. I get channels. I get whatever. But at that moment in time, at my weakest, I don't need to prove that I'm a good healer and I know all this information. I need to be my human, vulnerable self at that moment in time. The me that knows nothing, the me that is just feeling what I feel, and I don't need a knowing. And I am 100% sure a lot of you resonate, especially the healers and the light workers of the world resonate, because there is nothing more that we don't know that we're consciously unaware of. We are aware of exactly all the things that need to be done, right? And to those who are not in the healing world and you've gone into self-help and you do your thing, you already know those things. If you are seeking for somebody's advice, you can ask, so I don't know what to do, but you're not looking how to heal. You're just, I don't know what to do, right? If somebody's not asking for something, really, really, really give people their space. When they ask for something, then provide it. People are crying, let them cry. And when they cry, just be there. When you're crying, have the courage to say, all I need is for you to hear me, or to just be there. I do not need to hear any advice right now. How many of you resonate with this? How many of you don't want to hear advice when you're feeling really bad, right? Unless, of course, you're sitting with a professional and then you're like, okay, so this professional, this is what they do for a living, are going to help me unlock things that need to be unlocked, right? Unless you're sitting with a professional. Other than that, really, really, we all just need one another, to allow one another to feel what we feel at any given time and not be ashamed of it, not feel that we're broken and someone needs to fix us, and not fear that somebody sees us as broken and weak. Because you're still in your strength when you are feeling your feelings. Actually, you're stronger than pretending that you don't have feelings. 100 times stronger. So when you're feeling your feelings, you are the strongest, you have so much courage, you are free, and you are really aligned, because at this moment in time, nothing matters right now but expressing how you feel. Is this making sense? I hope it is. Share with me how this video works for you. Don't forget to leave your thumbs up, your hearts, and if you like, you can give me a hug. I love the little hugs. Leave your comments at the bottom. Tell me your experience with tears and crying. What have you observed in the world? Like, how do people react to tears, right? To crying. Notice yourself. How do you react to it immediately? Did you go and hover and want to make things good? And then ask yourself, why do I have this need? Why can't I allow the person to just feel what they feel? Just understand, like, the more you observe yourself and your reactions and who you are and what tears mean and crying, you start to notice that you don't need to, like, change a happy person's mood, right? But for some odd reason, there's a need to, like, comfort the person with tears, but you don't need to comfort a happy person. With both scenarios, like with happy people, you allow them to be happy, and with crying people, we kind of don't give them that opportunity. So it was all about tears today, and the freedom to cry and the freedom to feel, and we are going to teach each other how to allow ourselves to still be strong, still have value in who we are, still feel worthy while we feel broken and hurt and suffering. It means nothing, because in 3 minutes, in a day, the next day, you're going to be back on the ball again. It doesn't mean that you are less than anyone else and anyone knows better than you. It doesn't. So give yourself permission to feel what you feel, to cry, to allow those tears to come down, and to also know that you are less than no one because you've shared who you truly are to people that you're really close to. Love you all. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. And thank you for watching. Bye.